If you were making over $1 million a year from YouTube in just a few months after starting it, what would you do?
I would 100% say that in the next 6 months, I would estimate that we are gonna make an extra 1 to 2 million through YouTube.
Meet Levi Irola. He makes over $1 million a year just from his YouTube channel. And the craziest part is, he only has 3,000 subscribers. So how does he do it? How has he built a channel that he says will make him several $1 million in just the next year?
We'll make an extra few million in the next 12 months through YouTube.
And more importantly, how can you as a business owner or a creator do the exact same and build a channel that makes you millions? Well, lucky enough, I was able to have a conversation with him and ask him these exact questions. We're going to be revealing all of this in this video, and you'll have the chance to steal his exclusive blueprint on how you can make millions of dollars a year from YouTube just like he is.
Okay, so Levi, do you just want to give a quick background check on, who you are, what you do, what you run, and that side of things?
100%. So around 11-12 months ago, we started a company called AgentsOfVelocity.io. It is a consulting company. We help people build B2B lead generation agencies from zero or from whatever point, and we help them scale to multiple 6 figures a year. Also, some people have gone through 7, but I'm the founder and CEO of this company, and yeah, that's pretty much what we do.
We started working together September time. What were things like then? I know AV was recently launched then. So what were things like then back in September?
Yeah, 100%. Even though I am and our whole team is pretty much outbound guys, we still pretty much run AV through organic traffic, through a personal brand, because it's a little bit of an expertise service. So it's nice to do it organically. Back then I had 4,000 or 5,000 followers on Twitter. So nothing huge, a small email list. All of our traffic was coming from Twitter during the past 9 months. Has been going to shit. It's still a great place and there's still a lot of great stuff, but a lot of changes, of course, Elon buying it. We just didn't want to be reliant on one channel because first of all, it's not really good. You really want to diversify your traffic channels. If you only rely on Twitter and my Twitter gets banned or something, then we lose all traffic. So that was the first thing. And then also, even though I have tweeted 11,000 times and I have been doing it for over a year now, every single day, I still truly feel that my best performing format is video. I like to present on video. And I think YouTube is so sick of a platform. I think it's truly the future. So we, of course, wanted to go to YouTube. And we were at the stage that, yeah, I could 100% figure it out. But I was also at the stage that if I decide to do it, I first of all want to do it correctly. Second of all, I don't want to figure anything out myself. We were doing Twitter. We wanted to do YouTube. I didn't want to figure shit out myself. I wanted to pretty much do it without having to spend a lot of time into the editing and uploading and doing SEO, etc. I wanted to do it well, but I just wanted to spend my time on recording actually good content instead of the other stuff,
Yeah, what I see a lot is a lot of people are stuck in this Hormozy mindset of focusing on just giving out as much free value as possible. And they think going into YouTube as their first time, they're unaware how the platform operates and, how do you actually get attention from YouTube. They think if they give enough value out that in return, they will get the views. But people start YouTube and they don't know how to actually create a good YouTube, first of all, at the content level. So the actual recording, how to make the video flow in a way that, that you deliver the value in a way that your audience actually understands, indoctrinates the correct beliefs, make them feel the right emotions, and actually ultimately convert them at the end effectively with the flow of the video. There's that, but then also all these other optimizations, because ultimately, YouTube's this funnel. If you're not optimizing the top of a funnel, which is things like actually getting it to reach as many people as possible, so the video positioning, SEO as well, and that side of things, then instantly your funnel's tiny. Then from there, it's if you have bad thumbnails, boom, even smaller. It really operates like that. If you're going to start YouTube, then it just completely makes sense to optimize that funnel. And back in September time, what sort of revenue numbers were you doing around that time?
We were doing around 60 to 70 a month.
So obviously now we're recording this in June. What are things like now? What sort of numbers are we doing now? And just what are things like in general?
Yeah, right now we are doing around the 130, 140 mark. Something to take into consideration that we haven't really been focusing on revenue growth that much. We are more focusing on backend and ops before we scale. So we are still a little bit on the building and testing and creating and figuring shit out phase. So the growth isn't that accurate compared to what we could have done if we just rev maxed hard. And actually, I would say that the bigger impact or bigger result that we have really achieved in the past 9 months is we have gone from fully having all of our lead flow come from Twitter to now probably like 70% of it coming from YouTube. We have really managed to diversify, and the diversification has been really well, even though the channel is big and our company is still extremely small, but we have done a pretty good diversification from Twitter to YouTube.
100%, yeah. If you were to give a rough number, how much cash collected do you think we're looking at from YouTube so far?
Estimation 400,000 euros. It can be less, it can be more, but I would say that around 400k.
I remember you sent a message a few months ago being like, you booked like 400 calls in 60 days or something like that.
Yeah, it was from January and February. We booked around 400 calls, I think. How we pretty much run Agent Velocity is we do 1 or 2 months like we go hard, and then for 2-3 months we a little bit scale it down to make sure the ops don't break. We're a little bit going against the grain in the sense that a lot of people just focus on getting as much revenue as possible, but we are really focusing on it not breaking and it delivering great results. Probably like 30% of those calls came from YouTube. And it is a bit difficult to say the exact impact of YouTube because we have discussed it works as a nurturing mechanism really well as well. We are able to decrease the conversion window because people are able to go through and find the information and get the objections handled before they even hop into a call and before they're even ready to hop on a call through YouTube. And yeah, it books a lot of calls, but it also does a lot of work in the back end in nurturing prospects and creating goodwill and getting leads and all of that stuff.
Yeah, like this is the thing, like you can 100% there's like that huge direct ROI there where like you can be like, okay, YouTube has literally caused this amount of booked calls, and like that amount like is significant, right? But it's also the case of like, you know, if you've got an audience of like a decent size, YouTube should literally just be a no-brainer, because even just, you know, directing that audience to YouTubers, if you've got a decent sized audience, it's going to convert people because it's just going to build that level of trust which you're unable to do with Twitter. And then, you know, there's other things as well, like sending it as like pre-call warming material. Like in a pre-call, you can just shoot them a YouTube video, which gets them even more like fired up to become a customer. Cold email campaigns, you can even use it in then as like assets, you know, running through sales letters. One of like the first videos we posted within the first month of working together, essentially the first 1 or 2 months, we posted that video and it was ranking at the top of YouTube search for your entire niche. It goes to show like at the content level how important the content level is, because like even though the audio was shit, it was like coming through your AirPods on Loom and like you've got all these optimizations which help a ton. But like one of the biggest things ultimately goes down to, in this type of video, right, is SEO. So, you know, basically making it clear to YouTube which terms this video has the potential to rank for, and then viewer satisfaction, which is what indicates to YouTube to which extent the video should rank for this term. So even with all these like optimizations not being made on this video because, you know, the audio was bad and like it was just a Loom, etc., because it was so good at the content level, viewer satisfaction ended up being high. So as a result, it's now ranking at like the top of YouTube search 8-9 months later. I want to ask as well, like how quickly would you say you did start seeing results from YouTube in terms of like, you know, getting those first few boot calls and then that side of things?
100% in the first month. I can't remember, like I was living in the jungle of Bali back then and I was extremely busy. There's like no chance for me to even look into it then, but I'm 100% sure it was in the first few videos. Also, a big thing that people forget about on YouTube is they just see YouTube as creating YouTube content. They're like, yeah, I'll just fucking create YouTube content. And if they have an offer, they just plug the offer and boom, that's it. But like people don't really realize the fact that it's, at least for us, it has been a long optimization process on what kind of content and what kind of words and what kind of things we need to say on the content. So in order to get the people who we want to book calls, because at the end of the day, every company's success is based on the customers that you get in. If you get the wrong type of customers with the wrong mindset or wrong approach or wrong state of their life, you're just going to get bad results and your company is going to crash over time. So it's also a long optimization process on what kind of content you need to do in order to get the exact people who you want to see it and book calls and be able to like identify with those people perfectly. So it is a long process, and that's also great when working with someone who is able to handle all the editing side and the SEO side, etc. Because like otherwise we wouldn't have the opportunity to focus on that, which at the end of the day is the biggest needle mover, like the content and how to position it in the market. So like a few months ago, we really started to hit the type of audience who we want.
Yeah, that's a big thing, as well as like, if you did have to do all the optimizations yourself with the edit, not only would it take away from the content level, but it would also have like an additional negative impact to where like it would make the process a lot more tiring, which is honestly why a lot of people don't continue with YouTube, because like editing can take like 5, 6, 7
Yeah.
hours. It depends on the video. It can take much longer as well.
And it just adds friction. You don't want to do it,
Yeah.
Like if I would have to, like I would not be doing 3 long form videos a week if I had to do it myself, like the whole thing. There's no way.
Yeah.
It would be impossible. I would hate it.
Yeah, there just is so much friction there with these other parts. And like you can 100% see results as well with none of these optimizations like that. Like I can take that for you. Like you will, like at the content level, if like your videos are actually good, eventually you will see it. But like it's just astronomical, with the optimizations and that side of things.
100%. I would even say that it is like a multiplier. If you understand marketing, if you understand who your target audience is, what they want, what they need, what they have failed at, how sophisticated they are, how aware they are of their problems and needs and different solutions in the market, what kind of language they use, if you have a good offer, if you are actually an expert into something, and if you like understand basic marketing, like how to structure video sales letters, it is super easy for you to like create like right structured videos that actually convert. But like we already spoke in the beginning of the video about the size of the funnel, like I think like if you are really good at marketing and you have a really good offer and you know your audience really well and you can create really good content, let's say that your results are like fixed one. You put inputs in, you get outputs out. But then when you add all the optimization things to it, it gives you like a 2x, 3x multiplier on the actual energy that you're putting into creating the stuff. So pretty much you're just getting a higher yield from the actual work that you're doing and the energy that you're spending on creating it. It would be fucking dumb for you to not have it. You can do it without, but it's not gonna multiply the energy. So you just have to do more to get the exact same outputs that we are getting when we have that multiplier. If you value your time, and if you are like, it's not for everyone, but if you are already making XYZ amount of money, like you're not completely broke, but you still need to scale, it would be dumb for you to not take that multiplier. Because if your content is good, it is gonna pay it off every single time.
It's even much more than a multiplier as well, where like if you positioned a video with X title and X thumbnail, it would have done shit. But like because the positioning of that video was shit. But then if you change it to Y thumbnail and Y title, so Y positioning, that can have like a completely different, and I've seen this like many of times with, videos that I've helped out with. Honestly, like sometimes the graph will be like, it'll be like this and it'll start to tail off. And then you make a thumbnail and title change here and the video goes like that. Like I've seen that in many of cases. It's just a case of like, shit, like if I had have done these optimizations, this video could be, raking me in cash. So obviously considering like the progress and like, the impact it's had up until now, where do you sort of see things in like 6 to 12 months from now? Obviously with YouTube specifically, but also in regards to like, overall where the business is going to be like as a result of that.
Yeah, I would 100% say that in the next like 6 months, I would estimate that we are going to make like an extra 1 to 2 million through YouTube, like at least in 12 months. We are going to for sure make an extra few mils from YouTube, no doubt about it. Finally, we are in a stage where we can actually start taking on a bit more customers, and our ops are really well structured, and we have really like, of course, not solved all the problems, but we have solved a lot of the bottlenecks that people get caught into. So we're really ready to do that. So I at least, if I would have to make a guess, I would say that we'll make an extra few million in the next 12 months. I think it's also like right now we are in a stage where we are building the team, structuring shit up, and it also will help us out a lot by working with you, because then we don't really need to focus on the YouTube department. That wouldn't really be something that I'd like to do, build a YouTube team. So it is also great working with you, because then we are able to focus our efforts and focus into other parts of the organization. It is definitely compared to other social media channels. Of course, like I'm not comparing to everything, but if we just compare, for example, to Twitter, you shoot a tweet into Twitter and boom, it's gone in 3 hours. No one's gonna see it ever again, unless you go and retweet it or unless it goes like viral as fuck. But even if it goes viral, it's not gonna be there for more than 24 hours, So that is also creating YouTube content. It is way more like satisfying, because I know that the work that I put in today, it can yield the results in a year still.
Yeah.
So it is also like something, if you're just trying to optimize your time spent as a busy person, creating YouTube is really high leverage in that sense.
Nothing like sucks more when you put like a really good thread or something, like a really good piece of content out on Twitter, if it's like a sales asset, like running as an auto DM or like a really good thread, and it just flops. Like there's nothing worse than that. But then at least like with a YouTube video, you take that same piece of content and structure into a YouTube video, even if it doesn't like take off straight away, like genuinely, if it is a good piece of content, in the long term, it will make you a lot of money. Like it just will, because good videos will eventually get the attention they deserve. It isn't like, it just disappears into the black hole and it's never to be seen again. So overall, like, what areas in your business and like your life as well do you feel YouTube, growing a channel, and like having us help build your YouTube sales funnel has had like an impact in, and like how has it impacted in those areas?
A great question. So I would say, first of all, from business perspective, first of all, it has helped us diversify. Second of all, it has helped us a lot, like just test what our audience enjoys and likes. Third thing, it makes things a bit more predictable. We are not really dependent on a tweet or a TikTok or an IG reel going viral. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't really care, because we know that we are predictably racking in the 1,000 views per video, and that's all we need. So from business perspective, it has been great. It has provided a lot of security and a lot of stability. Plus we have gained a lot of really good insights from the market. From my life, that's a great, of course, like when you have stability in a business and predictability in the business, it's going to make you less stressed and more happier, etc. But I have become a better speaker. I have become a better presenter. You probably can notice from this video, but English is not my first language. I'm from Finland and we are famous for speaking an extremely bad level of English. So it has also forced me to learn how to speak English. Not properly. I still struggle with a lot of words, but right now I just feel that of course, it increases the confidence. It's not like valuable for everyone, but for me as a non-native speaker, it has been great. Creating content, I have really enjoyed it. I've always liked it, but right now with the right team and working with Jake and working with his team, it makes it easy, because I just open the camera, I just plug in the microphone and whip up the whiteboard. Then I can just ram a video in 60 minutes, and then Jake looks at it and he like, yo, 50 minutes of this is dumbass, bro. And then he makes it into a great video. So that has also been like really enjoyable for me. I really, really, truly like it. It makes my life easier as well. I'm fairly busy, so it truly helps me to do the stuff that I really like.
No, yeah, I have noticed that. And yeah, one thing you said as well is like it adds that stability. Like I like to think of it like once like your channel reaches a certain stage, like it kind of makes you bulletproof in your market. Like if you actually have like a good product and you build your channel at a certain stage, because it's like this asset, like you're good. You're literally good. Like as well, in your case, especially like with what we've done, it puts you at the top of the market, like in your number one spot. When you're ranking on the top of YouTube search for like lead generation agency, for example, like that's, even if people like find out about this lead generation agency business model through somebody else, when they go and like dive into that process deeper and they search, okay, lead generation agency, let me find out more about it and learn how I can actually build one. You're the guy who just steals them.
Yeah, that is one of the best things. We don't have many competitors because they know that they can't really compete. But we have the few people who are trying to copy us. So it is great. They're just spreading awareness, and because our YouTube channel is already at a great stage, so we are way more likely to convert the people they initially get educated on the model on. So like you said, it is a really, really valuable conversion asset that you have like firing off in the World Wide Web at all times. Nothing else is a better salesperson than video, because it has infinite leverage. You can sell to 1 million people at once if you have a great video, and it's working 24/7, never demands pay raises, never gets sick. Just in general, I think video and video sales letters, it is the best way to market. It is literally just having a video that pops off that you can use to sell on like your offer. It is just crazy. It is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's so huge. And yeah, because like obviously you send like your videos as well to like your email list and that side of things as well, which converts people as well. With the competition as well, instead of like competition taking market share, they're actually like helping you. Like it's like benefiting.
100%. I love people who copy our stuff. It will help us way more than it will.
It brings people into the market, but then they ultimately go to you anyway because of like the authority you have. What is the impact on quality of lead flow from doing YouTube?
It has so many different variables on what kind of lead quality you get. Of course, if they have gone through 5 of your videos, they're going to be more nurtured to buy from you. They already feel that they know you, they're more ready, they know your offer better, they probably have already gotten some of their objections handled. So they are more in a ready state to buy, but it won't matter if the lead who has booked a call isn't the right person. But YouTube for sure has a high potential for you to generate really high quality leads if you know how to do it. If your marketing message is right, and if your funnel is right, and if your offer is right, the closing rate is pretty much everyone who is qualified should almost be closed. Like at least like over 60-70%. And if they have gone through a lot of YouTube videos, they for sure are easier to close. No doubt about it.
Cool. Yeah. So that was amazing. So if you want your YouTube sales funnel built for you, you want to become the #1 in your market, and you want to build, your YouTube channel to generate you 30 to 50K a month and beyond in additional revenue. Go to viewstoclients.io and you can, go through the stuff there, have a look at the case studies and book a call as well. And if it makes sense, we can potentially work together.
And just before the video ends, remember that exclusive blueprint that I mentioned at the beginning of the video? The one that literally reveals how you can make multi 7 figures and even 8 figures from YouTube, just like we're helping Levi do? Well, to reward you for watching until the very end, I've secretly left a link to it in the description of this video, as well as in the pinned comment. You can scroll down there right now to get it, because I'm not going to keep this public forever. You see, I want to keep everything exclusive for the select number of people that are able to get their hands on it. So go to the link in the description or in the pinned comments to get it for free right now while it's still there. And if you found the video valuable, like the video, subscribe, and comment what was the biggest thing that you learned. Also, YouTube thinks you'll like this other video on your screen right now, so I'd recommend clicking it because there must be a reason why YouTube thinks you'd like it.